Today on the Weekly Watch, we're talking about playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
Playoffs?
You kidding me? Playoffs?
Okay.
The first thing we want to talk about are both of Cloutier's one-handed goals.
Shoot scores! Students cross to the left. Scores!
Even though UNC lost to Albany in a great game, these two goals were incredible. Like, the height he gets one-handed, like lifting that ball, I can't believe it. He's gonna crush it in the NLL.
Yeah, Cloutier's about to turn up, if he's not already turning up.
He's already turned up.
Cloutier's goals were amazing, but shout out to the Great Danes for winning that one. They advanced to the quarterfinals. In the other first round games, Towson beat Penn State, which I think is considered an upset, but I kind of knew Towson was gonna win. Ohio State beat Loyola, Notre Dame beat Marquette, Duke crushed Hopkins. That was unexpected. Not that Duke was gonna win, but by how much they won. They won 19-6. Whoa.
Denver beat Air Force, and then Syracuse beat Yale in a super close game. Evan Malloy with the John Wall at the end.
Everybody do it, John. Why do it, John? Why do it, John? Why do it, John?
I thought Cuse might lose this one. They were down the whole time. Yale looked really good. Ben Reeves was going off, but it just always happens. Cuse always seems to win.
It's the story of Cuse all season long.
It doesn't matter who they play. One goal game, always. And to round out the first round, Maryland took down Bryant 13-10. Bryant had a great comeback at the end, but we gotta talk about their jerseys.
Bryant's jerseys, hype or not? We're not gonna say anything about them.
Okay, I'm just gonna say though, they're
Oh, I don't want to swear.
Okay,
No.
okay.
We're not gonna say anything about them. The poll's up in the corner. Bryant's jerseys, hype or not? We're gonna let the people speak here.
Okay. So the quarterfinals have shaped up and the games are gonna be really good. Maryland versus Albany, Denver versus Notre... Come on. Right in the middle of my explanation of the quarterfinals. Denver, Notre Dame, Ohio State versus Duke, and Towson, Syracuse.
Those are some great games.
Final four prediction, go.
Syracuse, Denver, Maryland, and Duke.
Oh yeah, you need to park here? So stay tuned to our Instagram. We have a lot of people giving us their Final Four predictions. You can check them out at Lacrosse Network on Instagram.
If you haven't seen, the final episode of Drive Undeniable is out now. Check it out. It's Torrey Pines during their game week with their rival LCC. I think this is my favorite episode yet.
This was one of the coolest episodes because we actually got to go behind the scenes while they were preparing to take on their rivals. This is like one of the best rivalries in Southern California lacrosse and probably in California lacrosse. Really high quality lacrosse was played, and it was just such an electric environment to be down there filming during that time.
Make sure to check it out. Link is in the description, and I think also somewhere here on the screen.
In the NLL, game one of the semifinals was played. The Swarm took game one on the East, and the Rush took game one on the West. To check out the NLL playoffs, go to NLL.com and find out more.
In the MLL, the Zards beat the Blaze 14-12, and Rabel had 5 goals. What's up, Paul?
So not only did Paul have 5 goals over the weekend, but on Monday, he launched his new podcast called Suiting Up. In the first episode, he interviews Bill Belichick, talks about sports and entrepreneurship, talks about the Patriots, they talk lacrosse. It's awesome. If you're into podcasts, check it out. We have the link in our description.
Should have launched it at halftime.
Of his game?
Yeah, well, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be wild.
He's like, I have a couple goals, and now I'm gonna launch a podcast.
If his podcast was called Halftime, and it was 10 minutes long,
nice.
He launched it every halftime.
That'd
Paul,
be cool.
Pretty good idea, man.
Season 2.
The MLL is putting more highlights out on their YouTube channel and on their Twitter, so if you want to see more highlights from the weekend, check them out there. And this weekend, you can watch Paul play on the Twitter Game of the Week, 7:30 Eastern. The Zards take on the Cannons on Saturday. Catch that game live on Twitter.
Our recruit spotlight this week is Luke Welch, a lefty attackman out of Del Norte High School, committed to Marquette.
I just love to see how many San Diego kids and Southern California kids are committing to D1 schools. It's so cool to see that. When we were at the Torrey LCC game, there's like 15 kids on the field going to play D1. Shout out California Lacrosse.
If you want to be the recruit spotlight, send the tape to info@thelacrossenetwork.com.
Every time.
Oh my gosh.
Every time.
Q&A questions from the last weekly watch. Atomic Taco says, TLN, if you could make an MLL team in Houston, what would be the logo and the colors? I think I would do the Houston Oilers.
I think it would have to be red, white, and blue if it's in Houston, right?
Question from me, Samir.
Yeah.
Final four prediction.
Ohio State, Towson or Cuse?
Whoa.
Cuse, Denver,
Yep.
Albany.
Wow, that would be a really cool Final Four.
Next week, we're actually heading to Boston. Who else is going? Comment below if you're going to Boston. We'd love to meet you.
Can't wait for that. Zeus says, if you guys were to switch lives with any player in any conference for one game, what would it be? Right now, I would just pick any starting player for whoever makes the national championship NCAA game. Phoenix Edits asks, TLN, who's your favorite goalie in MLL or college?
I like Drew Adams a lot. We've spent time with him, so I like him. I also like Adam Gittleman.
Scott Rogers, good guy.
Rogers is a good guy too.
Gage says, what would you say to a youth player coming off an injury? I just came off a pretty bad ankle injury.
Yeah, here's what I would say. If you're a youth player, take it easy.
Yeah.
Get as much rest as you can because you don't want to push it and then not be able to play in high school and college. Take your recovery really seriously.
Make sure to comment questions below on this video for the next weekly watch.
Let us know your Final Four predictions. Let us know who you think's gonna win this weekend.
And don't forget, hype or nah, Bryant's jerseys poll is up in the corner.
If you guys are heading to Boston, we will see you there next week. Comment below. Let us know if you're gonna be there. Stay tuned to our Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We'll let you know where we're gonna be, and we'll see you next week. Peace!